Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could segment maybe into John's or Segway.
Right. John played it as well.
Yeah,
But you
John
go
played a
ahead and
little
start
bit.
us off, bud.
Warhammer Space Marine 2, a third-person action game. In the Warhammer universe, you play as a Space Marine, a squad of 3, and you're just on a planet that's under a Tyranid invasion. It's got that World War Z's like zombie horde stuff going on where there's
Yeah, I
just
saw the
thousands and
hordes just
thousands of
climbing upon
Tyranids,
themselves.
and you were just constantly you're just cutting down these dumb Xenos. It's pretty sick. About I got like
When did
5 hours.
the first one release?
It was on the 360, so it was years and years ago.
God, 2011. That's even longer ago than I thought. It's been a long time coming.
But dude, pretty sick game. I'm not really that far into it. I've only done like the first mission and like a tiny bit of the second mission. I think like the last thing I did was I got like a jetpack. But pretty sick game. Pretty sick game. Looks really good, runs really well, which is what I'm for. And I get to chop up aliens. John,
Which
would
is,
you think?
That's all you need.
Yeah, really. I just like smashing stuff with a hammer.
No, at the end of the day, you're right. That is really all you need. I'm actually not too much farther than you. I haven't played too much. I beat the first mission, and then we went into there's a campaign, which is 3 players, and then there is a separate mode called Operations, which at this time they only have 8 missions, but it's unclear if they're going to add more, maybe if the game does well. But these are kind of like replayable missions that have, a scaling difficulty. And then specifically in the Operations mode, you get to pick a class out of I think there's 8 classes or something, like heavy, assault, vanguard, sniper, stuff like that. And you start at level 1, and like I said, this is the operations mode, and this is the mode where you go through and you finish a level and you level up and you'll unlock perks for your class, and it recommends you start at level 1 and then get to the next difficulty around level 5 and then 10. So it seems to be the replayability of the game is going to be in the operations mode, at least as far as PvE goes. And that was pretty fun. Well, I only did 1 mission, but it was pretty fun. And then I don't know if Greg didn't mention
there's
it.
Obviously there's a PvP mode, but
I haven't touched it.
I have not tried that yet.
But there is a 6v6 PvP mode. I can't say anything about it. I haven't tried it.
That has attracted Kurt for sure, right?
Yeah, I believe he has played it a little bit. He dug it.
I think he's beat the campaign.
He has beat the campaign as well. I'm enjoying this game so far.
There's just a lot of stuff out at the moment.
Yeah, I say definitely not the reason I haven't beat it yet or we haven't played it is not lack of want. It's just a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I mean this game. I mean it looks great. I think the controls are a little bit weird to get used to on a keyboard, but once you get them, you're like, okay, I get this. Just stuff like C being like your parry, and I don't know, just weird stuff.
They
like
have
that.
changed a lot of my controls.
Like C being your parry, and then there's weird things where like if you parry somebody, like a little reticle will appear in their head, and then you press a button to shoot them instead of just normally shooting them. Just little things, just whatever. But I think where the game really excels, and I'm not a Warhammer super fan. I would call myself, I guess, a fan, but just in the outskirts. I don't own any physical property. I've just played the games. But just how just talking to Alex and my brother, he's more into the world. But just talking to him while we're playing, he's pointing out things while we're walking in like the hub world, like, oh, that's the so and so, and that's that creature or whatever. So it does seem to be pretty accurate to the world. And even in the operations mode, the mode where you have your separate class and stuff, you can get to customize your Space Marine. And I don't even know the correct terms, just how far out of the realm I am. But there's so many different, dozens of different, Space Marine, regiments or groups, and yeah, it seems like they have at least a dozen represented in the game. You could be like the Blood Angels or I don't know the other ones. I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot.
Right.
But just tons of customization from like the actual lore of the series. So I mean, and the game's getting very positive reviews. So yeah, I think if you're a Warhammer fan, definitely can't miss. But even if you're a fan of, it's funny that Greg said well, not really funny, but it makes sense that Greg said that the first one came out on the 360 because this game feels very much of that era. It's just like a campaign, from what I understand, is a short, like 8 hours. It's just a co-op, run through, smash and kill guts, whatever. Almost like a Gears of War in a sense. Kind of type of game.
That's great for fans of the original.
Yeah.
Who've been waiting this long and they get an actual legitimate sequel to a game they liked.
Yeah, definitely.
And from what I've seen, it's been successful so far. The Saber Interactive CEO, I think, said this is like a super successful launch for them, like their best or one of their best, something like that, which is pretty impressive.
Good, I
for a
think they
Warhammer
should fire
40K
half of their development team, if you ask
Hell
me.
yeah. Hell yes. Layoffs. Yeah, I was just looking at their season pass content roadmap for Space Marine 2. The first thing I found very funny is that either they already did this or they're going to do this in September. They're going to add ultra wide support. Hey, thanks for us ultra wide people out there. Private PvE lobbies and some kind of arena. And then in seasons 2 and 3, that's the rest of 2024, and then into 2025, they're adding new PvE missions, difficulty modes, new enemies, new PvP mode rather in 2025. And then eventually a horde mode in 2025. Don't they all? It feels like every game nowadays that's like this gets a horde mode like a year later.
Oh yeah,
doesn't start
definitely.
with one and then just gets one later down the line.
Game should get a beast mode where we play as the Tyranid taking over the planet.
That would be sick.
But
yeah, it's that's cool.
Yeah, we've been digging
turned
this
out
one.
Well.
Yeah,
I was surprised with what Greg said. It looks great, I thought, just from seeing it on stream, but it also seems to run very well for having, as Greg also said, like World War Z levels of body piles climbing over to kill you.
Definitely.
It's impressive. It's an impressive feat.
Yeah, I'm running on like I think a 3070 Ti. I don't think I'm running on 4K or anything, maybe 2K. But yeah, I've had exactly 0 problems running the game or stuttering or anything like that. I will say we did run into 1 or 2 like weird game problems, like suddenly we wouldn't be able to pick up items or like a ammo crate didn't respawn in when we died and came back in the game. That's weird video game bugs. So
right. The kind of stuff they could hopefully just find out about it, patch at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's Space Marine 2.